An island where feelings lived. Once there was an island where all feelings lived: happiness, sadness, knowledge, including love. One day they got to know that the island was going to sink, so all constructed boats and left except love. Love was the only one who stayed because it wanted to hold out until the last moment. When the island almost sank, love decided to ask for help. Richness was passing by in grand boat. Love saw and asked, "Richness, can you take me with you?" Richness replied, "There is no place for you, as I already have lots of gold and silver to take with me." The love saw Vanity passing by and asked, "Please help me." Vanity answered, "I can't help you as you are all wet and might damage my boat." Now love saw Sadness and asked it, "Take me with you." Sadness refused, saying, "Love, I am already so sad that I need to be with myself only." Similarly, all other feelings passed by and all refused to take love with them. Suddenly love heard a voice, "Come love, I will take you." It was an elder, or knowledge. When they arrived at a dry land, after leaving love, elder went away. Realizing how much he owed elder, love asked him, "Who helped me?" It was time. Elder replied. Love asked again, "Why did time help me?" Knowledge smiled with deep wisdom and answered, "Because only time is capable of understanding how valuable love is." Moral: we can understand the value of love only with passing time. So never let it go for silly fights or reasons. Story of boy and girl who loved. But. Girl-boy heart-touching short love story. 10th grade. As I sat there in English class, I stared at the girl next to me. She was my best friend. I stared at her long, silky hair, and wished she was mine. But she didn't notice me like that, and I knew it. After class, she walked up to me and asked me for the notes. I handed them to her. She thanked me and gave a kiss on my cheek. All I wanted to do is to tell her how I feel about her. I love her and wanted to tell her that I want her to be mine, but I was too shy to tell her. 11th grade. The phone rang. On the other end, it was her. She was in tears, mumbling on and on about how her love had broke her heart. She asked me to come over because she didn't want to be alone, so I did. As I sat next to her on the sofa, I stared at her soft eyes, wishing she was mine. After 2 hours, 1 Drew Barrymore movie, and 3 bags of chips, she decided to go home. She thanked me and gave a kiss on my cheek. All I wanted to do is to tell her how I feel about her. I love her and wanted to tell her that I want her to be mine, but I was too shy to tell her. Senior year. One fine day she walked to my locker. "My date is sick," she said. "He's not gonna go." Well, I didn't have a date, and in 7th grade, we made a promise that if neither of us had dates, we would go together just as best friends. So we did. That night, after everything was over, I was standing at her front door step. I stared at her as she smiled at me and stared at me with her crystal eyes. She thanked me and gave a kiss on my cheek. All I wanted to do is to tell her how I feel about her. I love her and wanted to tell her that I want her to be mine, but I was too shy to tell her. Graduation. A day passed, then a week, then a month. Before I could blink, it was graduation day. I watched as her perfect body floated like an angel up on stage to get her diploma. I wanted her to be mine, but she didn't notice me like that, and I knew it. Before everyone went home, she came to me in her smock and hat, and cried as I hugged her. She said, "You are my best friend," and gave a kiss on my cheek. All I wanted to do is to tell her how I feel about her. I love her and wanted to tell her that I want her to be mine, but I was too shy to tell her. Marriage. Now I sit in church. That girl is getting married now. And drive off to her new life, married to another man. I wanted her to be mine, but she didn't see me like that, and I knew it. But before she drove away, she came to me and said, "You came." She thanked me and gave a kiss on my cheek. All I wanted to do is to tell her how I feel about her. I love her and wanted to tell her that I want her to be mine, but I was too shy to tell her. Death. Years passed. I looked down at the coffin of a girl who used to be my best friend. At the service, they read a diary entry she had wrote in her high school years. This is what it read. I stare at him wishing he was mine, but he doesn't notice me like that, and I know it. I want to tell him, I want him to know that I don't want to be just friends. I love him, but I'm just too shy, and I don't know why. I wish he would tell me he loved me. I wish I did too, I thought to myself, and I cried. Moral: if you love someone, tell them. Don't let your heart be broken by words left unspoken.